One of the lovely things, or perhaps the more difficult things about the English language, is that sometimes there are tenses which in some places seem to be the same and in some places seem to be very different. My name's Joga Conga from elttraining.com, and this is episode 4 in my little series on grammar quirks. Today we're going to look at the differences and the similarities between the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. So let's start with the form. So the present perfect simple is of course have or has plus the past participle, something like this. And the present perfect continuous is slightly different. We've got been plus the present participle, so something like this. The problem is that sometimes these things seem to be exactly the same. For example, I've been living here for 5 years and I've lived here for 5 years. I would argue are not different. The same with I've been working here for 5 years or I've worked here for 5 years. Probably really not very different. Sometimes they're nearly the same. So let's have a think about this one. I've been waiting for 2 hours and I've waited for 2 hours. I'd say they're pretty synonymous. In both cases, we've started waiting at a time in the past, we're still waiting now, maybe we'll continue to wait in the future. But perhaps I've been waiting is for a longer action, perhaps it sounds a bit more like a complaint, so there's a little bit of difference there. Sometimes whether it's a repeated action or not will make it sound a little bit different. I've been there, to China for example. I've been going to China, definitely sounds repeated. So there is, I think, some difference. Also with a sense of completion. The classic is of course this one. Someone's been eating my porridge, the present perfect continuous, emphasising that complaint and the longer action, and they've eaten it all up, it's finished. But in all of these cases, they're not very different. But sometimes they are clearly different. Here's an example. I've been reading War and Peace. I'm definitely still doing it. Whereas I've read War and Peace, I've definitely finished. So an awful lot depends on the context, and completion is often key. However, I've been running and I've now finished. It's completed. We're still using the present perfect continuous. It's just tricky. So I'd like to be able to tell you that I know why this is as it is, but I'm afraid I don't. As for your learners, they're going to have to learn it over time through context and over exposure to different kinds of examples. If you've enjoyed this, you might like some of the other things on my site, elttraining.com. I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks very much for watching and look forward to the next episode in my little Grammar Quirks series. Bye bye.